Permissive Rot, I think, is like, as a musician, as an artist, that is like me trying to express myself is like, this is like what I really want to do, like kind of my pure statement or something. I have a fault. I'm just into so much different stuff. It's hard for me to just settle on a consistent sound. I've joked that we'll do a ska song, but that's not really gonna happen. I finished the record first on my own, and then like kind of after that, I linked up with some people that were interested, that dug the record. They're like, hey, have you thought about playing live and doing this as a band? I was like, oh yeah, sure, let's do it. And you know, I think the first thing is, what's the band name about? Because it sounds like a death metal band or like something. It's like a throwaway line from a Let Sleeping Corpses Lie or The Living Dead of Manchester Morgue. Like just, there's like this police detective in the movie, and it's like towards the end of the movie, and he just is driving with one of the other police officers through like this like kind of village, and he makes some kind of just comment about, oh, there's a lot of permissive rot going around here, like just basically talking about like societal decay.
Hi, Nick.
Starting out with Christmas Island, there was definitely a sound I wanted to go for. I think that's one of the interesting things as a musician, is there's like a lot of bands and different types of music that I look up to, and probably the critic in me, I've always felt like I do like a pale imitation of my influences, the bands I look up to. But I think with Christmas Island, it was that band kind of just was an accident. Like, my partner was learning to play drums. I was like, hey, why don't you play drums? I like recording music. Why don't you play drums? We'll record a song together, with nothing beyond that, and just putting it out on MySpace at the time. There was like this whole scene of music that was going on that I was just kind of unaware of. I was influenced by like a lot of stuff that felt obtainable. So bands like the Urinals, the Tronics, Television Personalities, the Clean, these like kind of bands that were rough around the edges, and the intent to make music kind of overshadowed the actual talent of those people. And very like punk rock at its essence, you know. And that's kind of where we were coming from as a band, was like, you know, my partner Lucy was just learning how to play drums, and you know, I've always considered myself somewhat amateur, but you know, really just, yeah, let's try it, like let's push it through. You know, some of that carried over into Teenage Burritos, the next band we did. Teenage Burritos had kind of a more democratic approach to songwriting, and it took a lot longer to write songs. Life kind of happened, you know, our singer, she had a baby, and then that kind of coincided right after our record release party. We kind of disbanded after that. You know, it's hard to look back on those years, because in my 20s and like part of my early 30s, like, yeah, I was really drunk a lot of the time. Kind of the catharsis at the end of the show, like the after party, connecting with bands, partying with them afterwards was, in some ways, like I think that was maybe easier to do than like getting up on stage and performing. Having the dimension of alcohol and drugs and the absence of that now impacted so much of my life outside of music. Like I think I just like appreciate life a lot more now than I did back then. I would still be making music and having fun, but then like in my personal life I was just like, man, like this sucks. Life sucks. But yeah, I think now it's just, you know, I really feel like I feel I'm living my authentic self, as corny as that sounds, but I mean it's true. It's just I'm in my mid-40s. I'm like comfortable in my own skin. You know, I wasn't comfortable in my own skin back then, and sobering up absolutely played a big part in that. Having children played a big part in that.
What are you doing? Oh, sorry.
I went through a big period where I wasn't feeling particularly inspired. It was like, I think after I'd sobered up, first few years of that, and like I mean there was, I think even during the start of COVID, I just was like, maybe just the energy that was going on with that and how uncertain things felt, like I just was like, I think I might just sell all my music gear, and even I was like, well, I'll keep my guitar, but like, you know, yeah, I'm just gonna get rid of everything. I think I'm retiring from music, and I think a lot of it just had to do with the creative rut I was in at the time. It just is what it was. I mean, I guess it would be naive to think I won't run into one of those again, but I don't know what happened. Like I just, later on during that period of COVID, I worked on my album, and I had to record some new stuff, that's really what it was. I had to finish up all these half-baked, half-finished things that I had just been sitting on for so long, and I think that just kind of rekindled things, and I don't know what it is now. Like I just am in a really fertile time period creatively, and yes, I got like a full-time job and I have 2 kids, and my life is, you know, I'm able to eke out these little slivers that I can actually work on things. And I'm blessed right now to be playing with a bunch of guys who are like kind of in the same boat. You know, they have jobs and kids, but like, you know, we're able to get together and practice, and it comes off somewhat effortless, you know. The fun thing about doing music or doing anything creative is like, who knows what could happen, like when you put yourself out there, I guess. I'm just gonna roll with it. Like I'm able to do this right now, and I'm not running out of ideas yet, and I'm just gonna keep it going and see what happens.
Don't stop,